Let's go to our next caller. Why don't we try the 702 area code? I like the idea of going to 702. And if you're with us, caller from 702, jump right in. Tell me what's on your mind.
Hey, David. This is actually my second time calling. I'm not on the speakerphone this time, so I
Oh,
know
good, because it sounds like
it
you
usually
are, but
bothers you guys.
I'm glad you're not.
Okay, so I actually had a quick question and a little bit of a story. So on my Facebook, I was scrolling through, and one of my close friends, he is a major Republican supporter, um, and he was posting some false facts, right? Like about how white people don't commit crimes in the United States,
Hmm.
all like just extremely incorrect information,
Sure.
right? And so I went through the hassle of having an argument with him and, on Facebook, of course,
I'm
and saying,
sorry.
hey, the information you're posting is not correct. Those stats are completely fake.
Yeah.
And I had a discussion with other couple of friends of saying, should I do that or shouldn't? And I wanted to get your perspective on that.
If you're doing it for fun, then I would say have at it, Haas. If you're doing it to try to change people's minds, I would suggest that you put the time you spend doing that into some other kind of activism, maybe getting people to vote in the 2018 midterms or something else, because I think as an exercise of curiosity or entertainment, it's totally fine. But I don't think you're really going to impact policy by changing the minds of people like that.
And I definitely agree with you, but I feel also as well too that when someone does something where they post something on Facebook or
Yeah.
Twitter or whatever it is, and they don't have an opposing force that tells them, "Hey, this is incorrect information.
Hmm.
You need to get your policy straight,"
Right.
then I feel like there's a misrepresentation of the fact that someone who posts something that terrorists are always Muslim or there can't be white people terrorists, and
Hmm.
there's no opposition to that, then it becomes more accepted. Is the way I feel about it.
Sure. No, I think that's a good point. It's good for them to know that there are dissenting views. But again, I think it depends on what your goal is, and I totally get that. And also, it could be more for the third party people that see the exchange. It might be the
Right.
people who are maybe less informed than that guy, who are if they see that there's someone else pushing back, they might actually be thinking to themselves, "Oh, well, I'm glad to know that there's another view here," if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. No,
Do you
that's what
know
I
if
was kind of thinking of.
has
I
your
just want
friend
to get
been
your
cucked?
perspective.
Did you find that out? Do you know that, or is he like a normal internet guy?
Well, and so it was a couple different things because he went on a tear that day and he decided to post about how there's no white what's it called terrorists and
Yeah,
then also
great
what's
guy.
called climate change is a lie.
Hmm.
He had two things on that. So on the one that climate change is a lie, he basically refuted every single document I put up. But a friend of mine who was also on the exchange and saw the exchanges says, "Hey, I didn't know that there was so much information on that." So
Right.
ever since then, I've always tried to clarify for people who post, I'm not one for opinion, right? Like, hey, if you don't want, to be gay, then hey, you don't have to be gay. But if you say gay people are the reason why, there's child molestation, then I feel like, that's an extremely incorrect statement, and I
Yeah.
need to correct that.
Sure. All right. Listen. Hey, you're doing something interesting. It's sort of up to you in the end whether you think it's a good use of your time, but electorally at least, I think that it's not. But certainly, I've been party to a Facebook debate or two time and again. I appreciate the call. Thanks so much for calling, and thanks to everybody who called in. We will take calls again. That I promise you. And thanks to everybody I didn't get to. Also, we had dozens and dozens of people holding, and the calls are getting very popular, but we can't get to everybody is the sad reality.